Alternatively, if we assume that human beings are more emotional than rational, that they are self-indulgent and incapable of making important decisions about how they will be governed, that by their nature people are driven to seek pleasure and avoid pain, and that intelligence and talents are not evenly distributed, then when we get to our assumptions about social life and social relationships, we are likely to assume that the irrational hedonistic masses must be guided by the few with wisdom and talent so that the needs of society as a whole can be served. People are encouraged to be happy with their station in life. There is necessarily social stratification. In other words, there will be a class system. And if we make those assumptions about social life and social relationships, then we are likely to assume that government's responsibility is to impose order on society, that the masses are actually happiest in such an arrangement because their survival and well-being are guaranteed by a government vested with such authority. These are the assumptions of classical organic conservatism, which dominated Western political philosophy for centuries, going back at least to the ancient Greek philosophers Plato and Aristotle. These are the very assumptions that dominated political thinking during the feudal societies of the Middle Ages. Democratic governance is incongruent with the assumptions of conservatism regarding human nature. The assumptions of conservatism are a perfect defense of aristocratic power and privilege. Only a few people have the intelligence and talents needed to govern, according to this line of thinking. The British philosopher Thomas Hobbes, in his book The Leviathan, published in 1660, wrote that in a state of human nature, life is nasty, brutish, and short. Hobbes clearly made some assumptions about human nature. He argued that in the absence of government-imposed order, people devote most of their energies to survival and protecting their property against encroachments by other people. Hobbes maintained that a hierarchical paternalistic government would allow individuals to divert their energies to more productive, creative, and innovative pursuits. Civilization can only flourish, according to Hobbes, if government is sufficiently empowered to maintain order. These are the sort of assumptions that conservative political thought makes.